We are most likely the first generation in the human history that feel fully aware about that our model of progress is deeply imperfect. And yet when we try to fix it, we often fall back to need to protest, develop regulations, limitations, net zero. It does sound not so interesting. But what if, instead of struggling with scarcity, we dare to imagine a world built on abundance? What is abundance? It's something that a pickpocket cannot steal from you. Walk through the forest, fall in love with Violeta, dive into the coral reef, get lost before a waterfall or in a book of Borges.
We're thinking a lot about the limits of human perception, and so how, if you look at your hand, the skin creates this boundary between self and other, inside and outside, and just the nature of perception places you inside looking out. But then seen through the lens of science, you discover that there's this, that reality has layers that exist beyond the limits of your eyeballs. And I think it was Einstein had a quote that I'll paraphrase, is something like our perception is a kind of optical delusion of the senses, and so part of the the struggle is for us to expand our perception beyond the self to include the other. And for me, it's through that lens of science that you reveal relationships between self and other.
I think making art is about being willing to fail publicly. My accent, fail, F-A-I-L, publicly, and just be vulnerable and talk about how you feel. And in the act of doing that, I think, is how I ended up coming on to sustainability. I don't necessarily see myself as an artist or an author in some ways, but as a translator and just observing the world around me and trying to get to the heart of how it is that I feel and then convey that with other people.
So I think it really is asking questions instead of insisting that you already know the answer. And so I think a future museum is slower and more inquisitive and leads with questions instead of leading with, oh, I already know the answer because I read it in a book or someone told me what to do.
If we want to make a change, I think we should start seeing ourselves as that humble participant more so than the enforcer of our own will. And that can actually, I do believe, be pushed gently through architecture, through the way that architecture can actually open up our senses and our understandings of the world.